Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. I'm Scene Snobs Jr.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It is our countdown special. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, and of course, I am joined, as always, by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Casey Clark.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for joining us for our New Year's Eve countdown. This is very exciting.
We're very excited about this because I don't think we've ever done a countdown before.
We have not, at least not well. We've counted a lot of things down in our own lives, but never actually with anyone else or in this kind of group setting. So this is pretty cool.
You're dressed up so nice, and I look like Mr. Belvedere at the end when he's writing in his journal.
First of all, Mr. Belvedere was always amazing and always looked great. So you look fantastic, and how dare you put yourself down? I'm not a fan of it. Your hair, 1,000 times better than Belvedere's. Not to mention your whole face structure. Really, everything about you is way better than him. I do
feel
appreciate
like
it, though. Thank you.
I shave into a mustache and I slick down the hair. I got Belvedere.
Yeah, see, that's called putting in effort. So you'd have to try to look like him because you don't naturally.
And we've aged ourselves for anybody who has no idea who Mr. Belvedere is.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
That's a show that does not get on the lists anymore.
No, it does not. I mean, it was rare when it did at the time, but it was actually pretty popular. I recall it being very popular.
You know, actually, before we get into everything about this dumpster fire called 2021, I do want to mention, is it weird that the 80s had an overabundance of sitcoms that had, babysitters, especially male, babysitters?
And au pairs and everything along those lines. No, they were really cashing in on the whole women in the workforce thing. So it kind of changed everything up.
Yeah, which is, okay. So, I had two parents. You did too. We have parents that went and worked. So we had women in the workforce. The problem is, I didn't have an au pair. Nobody was taking care of me. Scott Baio was not coming over to my house and making sure that he was in charge. It just wasn't working that way.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have that experience either. I had no one in charge of my days or my nights. It was just me.
I would have preferred I think I would have preferred a Buddy Lumbeck myself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would have been way better. That way you can totally just push that guy around. He's too malleable.
That's true. You know what always weirded me out is when Nicole Eggert joined the show. It always seemed like, all right, maybe Buddy shouldn't come over anymore.
Yeah, it just started to get uncomfortable at that point. I don't know, Buddy.
I feel like once she ended up on Baywatch, maybe Buddy's in the back with some binoculars, watching from a bush.
Yeah, his role definitely changed. He was on the top of a dune, just staring out the whole time. That was he was part of Baywatch season, the first season, with her in it the whole time.
Oh my God, just always in the background. Somebody should do that. Remember on Scrubs when Elizabeth Banks joined the show?
Yes, and they retconned her completely.
They retconned her in every different scene.
Yeah,
they should do that with Buddy Lumbeck on Baywatch. I would watch it.
Oh, I would 100%. That would play.
And everybody who watches Pluto TV would watch it as well.
Yep.
Because that's all the people. That's the only place you find in Baywatch these days.
Yeah, you get about 476 people would be in.
Dude, I went pop shopping today.
Ooh, nice.
I'm a Funko Pop collector, and I got a bunch of stuff. But I saw, and I did not get them. And the reason I didn't get them was because I bought too much already. But
money. Money was the reason I stopped buying more things, because money.
But I absolutely would have. But I saw Turk there, a Turk pop, and I was like, "This is amazing. I love this." But I was like, I had the things I needed at the moment, the ones I'm really looking for. So I didn't get Turk because I was like, "Well, there's no JD. I know I can get JD next time." But I was like, "But I know they exist."
More importantly, if there's a JD and Turk, that tells me there's probably a janitor, and perhaps a Kelso.
Oh, I don't doubt this, because as I was walking out after my purchase, I saw JD. Oh. He was on another shelf. I'm like, why aren't they together?
Where were you shopping at? I need to visit this wonderful place.
It's called, I'll tell everybody right now. It's in Winchester, Virginia. It's called Cheat Codes. Video games, collectibles, and more. A lot of fun stuff.
All right. Going to have to check it out. Thank you very much for that little tidbit.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you can go to Time Traveler, and they have awesome stuff too. That's where I
Time
go.
Travel, there's amazing things, but I'm going to spend way too much money. I'm probably going to go back in and I'm going to be like, hey, do you have more Star Wars stuff? And they're going to have a whole nother round of a bag they fill up for like $400. And they're like, here you go. I'll be like, okay. And I'll take it happily.
Well, like whereas I felt I could not buy those to go overboard, I can't do that at Time Traveler because it's like, I need this. I need this. It's like, I don't need any of it, but I need it.
Yeah. Because like stuff.
It's just, there's so many pops and all other collectibles. I mean, that's where I finally got the Batman 89 bank. That's back there, the bust that they had. Remember when he came in the Batman cereal?
No.
Yeah. So remember the Batman cereal, though, right?
I do remember Batman cereal. Yes.
So he came in the Batman cereal, and it was like shrink wrapped with the bank right in front.
Oh, wow. No, I don't recall that.
Yeah, and it was stickers that you can add as his face, his eyes, and his emblem. And they weren't on everything. They weren't like on every box.
Right.
You know, you could buy it without it. And I remember my brother got it. And I was like, I want that so bad. It's like all I ever wanted. And I never got it, and I never thought about it ever since. And then I was walking through Time Traveler one day, and it was there. And I was like, yep. I got it. It belongs to me now. And I also got at Time Traveler another Michael Keaton figurine from Batman Returns.
Oh, yeah, and the Batman Returns definitely rose up my Christmas list movies this year.
Yeah, feel like Christmas for me, like I explored into a realm I don't normally do, which was like really went hard on the action.
Yeah, same. Oddly, yeah, Die Hard 1 and 2.
Yeah, I watched Die Hard 1 and 2. I watched Lethal Weapon, and I did end up watching Batman Returns, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, you know what? Batman Returns was one that was always middling for me. And then rewatching, for some reason, rekindled what it meant to me many moons ago. Like when I first saw it and really loved it. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was in love with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Like, she's batshit maniac crazy. And I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Where do I meet her? And then Danny DeVito was great as the Penguin. He was so good. What a weird, twisted character, you know?
You know, there's a comic book that was written, and it's just Gotham stories, Gotham like villain stories. It's a one-off comic book. This one, like, so each one has different stories from the villain's perspective, and it was written by Danny DeVito, and it's just he and Catwoman in love, righting wrongs and doing good in the world.
Well, then I'm going to have to 100% pick that up.
It's an interesting read. It definitely is. Like it's weird and interesting, but yeah, like it's all, I guess, told from the Penguin's point of view.
Huh. Fascinating.
Yeah. But we digress because I mean that's what we do here on the Scene Snobs. We have a countdown special for New Year's, and then talk about Batman.
Yeah. Right. Congratulations. We've wandered.
Yeah,
we've wandered into our wandering. The crazy mind of podcasters opened up. Where would you like to go today? Hello.
We'll find it. This is how we hide from the year 2021.
Right.
We do want to say we're getting ready to count down, so stick with us. We're going to count down at the end of the night. So count down with us. We're going to have a lot of fun. But this week we had a passing of John Madden. Passed away at 85 years old. The other day, this past Wednesday, he passed away.
Poor John Madden. I mean, he was an announcer for me for many years. His voice was always in my room. Every Sunday, I always heard John Madden and Pat Summerall for, I can't say for how long. It was as long as I can remember.
Especially us being Giants fans in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
Every game.
Because they were always the big one on that, and then the channel they were on. And then when he left, I mean, I remember he was on Little Giants, and he popped up in other places, but we played his video game forever.
Exactly. He was always around for us. He was always in some way, shape, or form, you knew who John Madden was. So that's a big loss, man.
Yeah, that one hit a little hard, but, so rest in peace, John. And, another one throughout the year, and we're gonna have we didn't add him to the memoriam, but in a little bit we'll have a memoriam come up of people we've lost throughout the year, and we're of course movie and TV based, so we kind of stick that route, and but stick with us, and you guys check that out later. So, Casey,
yes, my friend.
we're talking about the TV shows and things like that, and we're having
the ball dropping. We do talk about balls dropping here.
We do talk about balls dropping, but I don't know what kind of balls yet. I do want to talk about past New Year's Eve, like, that we've had in our lives. Like, what are some good ones and some bad ones? Or even
a lot
just
of them,
little stories.
A lot of them for me always kind of coincide. Like, I've got some that were great. When I went to a bar and had just a right of a good time, a bar that I used to work at, passing around champagne. One of my favorite things actually to do was to work New Year's. I have to say some of my favorite connections I ever made with people was working New Year's. I've always been a fan of being a host. I like hosting parties. I like hosting people. I like doing the introduction and the, having things prepared for people and being able to supply them with the fun time and the joy and whatever we're bringing. And New Year's is always an easy one to bring because you only have to make sure that you show up with champagne at midnight. So it was easy peasy. It was a great time, and it was always a blast. Usually always weird with kissing girls. I'd never had a whole bunch of kisses on New Year's. Most of that was like one of the biggest things for me. I was like, this is kind of a bummer because I'd have girlfriends. I'd be in relationships, and they'd be like, oh, but you have to work. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
Yeah. It never seems that special. Like, all right, so no, that's not true. That's not 100% true. I'm going to say it never felt that special. It seemed like it wasn't special for anyone else to kiss me on New Year's.
Right.
You see people kissing each other. And, like, even when I was in relationships and stuff, too, you're right. Like, I'm just like, I guess the person I'm with just is, like, either isn't into me, which, I mean, come on.
That's clearly they're drunk. That was a mistake on their end, 100%.
Or they just felt like, it's not a big deal. And I truly started to believe that after a while. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Like, when I got married, we were dating first and, during New Year's, and, she wanted to kiss me. And I was like, is it that important? She got a little mad at me. And I'm like, I just don't know if it is.
It is. If you have someone who wants to kiss you that much, you should be excited about it. As someone who doesn't have anyone who wants to do that, come on.
Oh, and I was, but I didn't know that it was that important. I think when Harry Met Sally made it a lot more important than it is.
I don't know. I think it's had that great connotation. I think it's always been wonderful for the kiss on New Year's. You want to start your New Year off right with the person you love, and that's just a beautiful thing,
Yeah, except these last 2 years, I'd like to go back in time and redo them.
I don't know about all that. I mean, look, mine is always weird because I just want to be able to say Happy New Year's and spend time with my kid. That's like the only person I've got who's like, yeah, I want to connect with her and start my New Year's off right with her because she's freaking awesome,
Well, you have me this year.
I do have you this year. And, if
I'll
you got to be
you.
second fiddle to River, I say you're doing all right.
I'll kiss you right on the mouth.
I won't say no.
Okay. I'm not going to let you say no. I wouldn't do that to anybody else but to you.
Thank you.
Like, turn into a bear. Just like, I'll hold you down.
No bears, man. I got a bears thing. Bears are evil.
True. You do have a bears thing, so no bears. A Wolverine.
Okay, that's fine. They're just crazy. I can deal with crazy. Bro, crazy is my wheelhouse.
It's just like a fat Belvedere-looking douchebag, like wearing a Wolverine costume.
That would be amazing. We snick, motherfucker. Come on.
It's butter knives taped to my hands.
Yes. Yes.
See, this goes so weird every time.
Just let the huge Jackman jowls come in. Get those big. You can grow it out.
I've done that. I've done that one.
I know you've done it.
Jeez. All right. So I do agree with you, though. And I think the last time before that, so I was in New Jersey. I was visiting a girl I was dating. I was living here in Virginia, but but I was visiting. I was dating a girl from Jersey. She was coming down. Like we were kind of going back before we'd known each other for a while. And I went up to visit, and I had like a miserable time. Not because of her, and I'm not putting her down, but like I just had a miserable time. Like it was a lot of experiences that were just rough. So I raced back. I was like, I'm going back, and I left on New Year's Eve.
Oh,
and you were working that night because I came
Yep.
up to Mackey's. And I was just like, I was so pissed off because I was like, all right, New Year's. I think she might have blown me off to go somewhere. But again, I'm not blaming her. I think it might have been pre-planned plans. And I was just pissed off because I was like, well, I didn't get invited or you didn't bring like, and it was just stupid stuff. Like when I look
No,
back,
I remember. It's what it is. It's what we do. We get upset when we're in our druthers because, I mean, you were up there for her. Like, I remember that visit. You were kind of doing it like, oh, I'm going to, like, plan for a day and then surprise with an extra day. I remember the whole thing. You had a whole shebang.
oh, yeah. I don't even remember that. So you're telling me. But you're right. It comes back to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I raced right down. I was like, all right, I'm just going to go home. I was like, nah, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to Mackey. And I went down there because I knew you were working, and then everybody was there. And it was a fun night.
Those are some of the best nights. And that was being able to facilitate those good, positive party vibes. Because that's all it's supposed to be. That's what New Year's is. You want to shed the crap of the previous year and just be done with all the things you're done with. And you want to look forward to that positive next day. It's like the best Monday ever.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, because you're shedding your crap from the previous week and just going, I'm starting fresh. We're doing this. Let's just move forward. And who doesn't want to party in that? And kind of you revel in the joy of the loss of what is behind you and what you're gaining moving forward. And the joy that, hey, we're alive for another year. We made it. The calendar turned and we didn't all die and we have a harvest and we survived winter. So shit, yeah. Bring it on, nature. Let's go one more round. Like, it's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like for me, my best New Year's have always been parties with friends.
Agreed.
You know, and I've always had a good time with them, especially house parties. Now, I did go one year to watch the ball drop. Lenny, his wife, and I no, it wasn't. It was the worst. It was, in hindsight, it was a great time because I had a great time with my friends. But it was the most miserable experience of my life. And I suggest nobody do it. Like I used to argue with Lenny.
It looks awful. Unless you are up whatever platform that everyone else is, whether it's like Rockefeller and they're on some stage or however it's set up down there. If you're not up on a platform with Ryan Seacrest, it looks awful.
It is absolutely awful. And we didn't get there like in the morning. We got there. I would say we got there around 4 or 5. It was just starting to get dark. And we were only 4 blocks away. But that little ball, like a tiny little dot. And we're like, New York never feels like this. And all of a sudden it feels exactly like this. Like you can barely see it. And we're just standing in line in the street. You're not going anywhere. You can't go to the bathroom. You can't get out to go do anything. Because if you get out, you can't get back in. And then by the end, after the ball drops, it's not like everybody's like, oh, yeah, Happy New Year, let's party. They all shuffle out. There were times, even, like I wasn't this big, wide-wise, but I was like always tall. There were times I just lifted my, like, they were so compact, I just lifted my legs and the crowd just carried me. And like everybody did, and like sometimes you just had to ghost, and that's the way it was. And we got back to the train station and got back home, and I was just like, oh, this is the worst.
Yeah, that's insane. Like I understand crowds to an extent, but crowds to go experience that in New York, there was a 22-year-old me that would have loved it. Well past that time. Now I'm like, even a crowd, like the idea of my ideal crowd right now, the perfect crowd to me would be like one listening to a Lilith Fair concert.
Oof.
Like I think that's the energy level that I'm looking for. Well, that's about the tops.
Yeah, no, I'm out on all that stuff. It would have to be Peter, Paul, and Mary.
That's fair. Hey, totally fair. I mean, I get it.
I want to sit in a library and you can sing your songs to me.
That's all right. Puff the Magic Dragon your life away, bro. I'm with you.
And the only reason I say that is because I can leave at any moment I want. And I don't care if I disrupt her concert.
Oh, and that's why I'd be totally cool with going to like the Grateful Dead show. I'm pretty sure by the time I was ready to leave, half the concert would be gone. Everyone would be done, and I'd be like, I didn't even realize it ended.
You know what's funny? You said mid-20s. That was exactly 20 years ago this year, because it was 2001 into 2002.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I graduated high school back then.
And we thought, like, we should go because, like, it was 2001. You know, we were right outside New York City. We were like, let's go celebrate with the city.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go be a part of it, you know, everything that happened. And I did not want to celebrate with the city, and I never want to celebrate with the city again after that.
Well, you got to do it. You got to experience it. And, you know, it's kind of like anyone who's choosing to experience this with us tonight. We appreciate it. We love you all. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, so we are counting down. So we got time. I mean, we're almost there, but not quite. We got about a half hour left, and we're going to go over some of our stuff. We have some lists and stuff to go over with you. So, Case.
Yo, Mick.
2021. It's a hell of a year. It outdid itself, in my opinion, from 2020, and that is saying something.
To me, it didn't. You know what it did? To me, this was the dust settling. Congratulations, folks. The dust got kicked up in 2020. It's still in the air. We just got to a point where it started to settle around September time. And then people did what people do and continue to kick it back up. So
I highly disagree with that statement. I just feel like the dust got kicked up in 2020 and the tornado started. That is.
I don't think it was that bad. Now, look, this is coming from someone who had to move twice, someone who dealt with way more deaths than I anticipated, much closer than I was prepared for. So that was nuts.
I get it.
Yeah.
I have gone on record as saying, hold on, time out one second. Let's wait for it to finish. She's giving Jack a bath, so she's probably not near her phone. Okay, take it back. Right. So I've gone on record as saying this is the worst year of my life.
Yeah.
I am not okay. And that's just me. That's 2021 from my perspective.
Yeah.
And then I look at the outside world and where we started on January, and I'm like, yeah. So I get what you're saying, because where we started in January compared to now is like, at least like Christmas was nice.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think we had more holidays this year. I think we had less fear. I think, unfortunately, we had more jerks. We had we did have some bigger fools across the board. All in all, look, if this is all part of weeding out into the civilization that we're supposed to be boiling down into, my friend, let's carry on. Let's just keep on rocking. It's eventually going to become what it's going to be, and let's just distill it and just prepare our children for the crazy hectic that it's going to be, the absolute chaos that will continue. In 2022, if nothing else, is going to be a better view of what the chaos is going to be for the future. Because all 2020 and 2021 did were prepare us more for how insignificant a lot of our voices are, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fair. I will tell you this, though. 2021, I'm glad things are opening back up. If things didn't open back up with how everything was going, life would have been a lot harder on everyone.
And we're going to get more. Everything's going to continue building from here. Look, in this post-chaotic world, we're going to find out in 2022 how to deal better with it, the same way we did in 2021. So 2020 was ground zero, man. It's when it started. You can't compare anything to it. 2021 was just getting better. Not all the way better. We just, mistakes were made. We're stumbling blocks, but we just keep making progress. We keep moving forward, and that's the whole point.
What year did Prohibition start?
1930-something. I always want to say 32, but I feel like I'm wrong. It might have been 32.
I'm like, maybe the 20s just sucked all around. Like maybe the 1920s sucked because of Prohibition. Now, where this is just our Prohibition, but no, it didn't even fucking work. So now,
are you kidding me? Most places legalize weed, so our Prohibition's pretty much done.
That's fair. So going forward, we were talking about 2022. What are some things that you're really looking forward to? It could just be movies, it could be this, it could be a new perspective. We'll get to resolutions later, but like just in general, like what about 2022 are you looking forward to the most?
I say 2022 has a lot of opportunity for growth. I feel like 2021 was just getting back outside. That's all 2021 was trying to get comfortable with the new norm and building our new path forward. And then through building our new path forward, we prepare ourselves for bettering ourselves. So 2022 has only the option to grow and build from there. We're only going to be better. 2022 is only going to make us congeal and grow and push forward in more uncomfortable times. We're going to be less comfortable. And I think that's going to be good for everyone. I think it's something important for us because we have to start reaching outside our comfort zones. I don't want to go to a movie theater, bro. Do you know how weird that is for me to say? After this latest scare I went through with COVID and everything, it is difficult for me to get comfortable moving forward to going to a theater.
I know a lot of people are feeling that way.
And all I want to do is go to a movie theater because it's my favorite thing. It's one of my comfort things. It's one of those things when I'm feeling bad, I could go to see a movie. It's one of those things that always lifts your spirit. So now when that's been taken from me in 2021, it's just made it difficult for me. It's building myself forward to be uncomfortable and to go to that movie theater and to still support the businesses I like and to be smart and intelligent about it and do it in a wise way.
Yeah, and for me, like 2021, really showed me a lot. Whereas 2022 was very divisive, in my opinion. Not 2022, 2020 was very divisive. 2021, still divisive, but I feel like I saw a lot of things from the other side. I saw like where a lot of other thinking was coming from. Not the racist bullshit.
I'm never racist.
Not that. I'm talking
never
about
bigotry, sexism, none of it.
No, none of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about like the vaccination stance and stuff. Mm-hmm. Not the crazy QAnon stuff. I'm talking about like the parents who may have been a little scared about we've talked about that in the past about Jack we finally were able to schedule and he got his first shot, but there are parents out there who are scared, and when it comes to kids, I get it. We just came out of a very scary year into another one that started out terrifying, and didn't really like settle. It just was like, okay, if January 6th, the worst that this year has to offer, it kind of coasted the rest of the time around and then started to even out towards the end. I think so that's just where I'm like, my stance on this whole year has been from a social standpoint. And we got Meta, so thanks, fucking Zuckerberg.
Yeah, right. I mean, that was pretty neat.
Yeah, good for him, dick. No, but stuff like that. We got a lot of rich people in space. So I mean, we got a lot of fun stuff too.
Look, a lot of things happened. There was still a lot of progress. We got a lot more happening with the ISS. We've got a lot of things moving forward with our space program, with our botany program, with our biology program. There are so many different things. Look, the vaccine. Yes, I understand people are still nervous about it, but this is an entirely new vaccine that is literally recoding your DNA. It's awesome. We have that power over humanity. We have that power over each other. We have that power to put a chip in someone's brain so they can control, a mechanical thumb.
I am telling you right now, I'm not getting any goddamn chips in my brain.
Oh, I am. I'm getting every fucking chip in my brain. I want. If today you told me that I could get ocular implants that allowed me to see the way Geordie LaForge did, I would burn my eyes with hydrochloric acid right now.
Jesus Christ, dude. You're insane.
Okay, maybe a step too far. But I would put myself on that list to be able to actually get on by getting transplanted eyeballs because of hydrochloric acid burns. I'm just saying it would be awesome.
Yeah, but you're not thinking about it from this perspective. Like Geordie had that technology, and like with the rest of the crew, they all had it better because they could see. And don't do that.
But
now it would be great for blind people who are suffering.
He can see like magnetic wavelengths. He can see entirely different ways. Like he can see the way a pit viper can if he changes using heat vision. He's got so many options. How is that not so incredible to be able to see that many wavelengths of light and things that are moving and particles just changing? Like, it's fantastic.
And for people who are
The
blind,
way birds see.
people who are blind and suffer sight issues, that is amazing. And I agree. Don't go looking for it yourself, you crazy man.
I'm only saying if there's the option for some kick-ass cybernetic eyes.
I want no chips in my brain. And here's why. Not because I think that the theoretical use of this chip would be a great idea and fun for the future, but because I don't trust anything science or experimental that the government puts out. I don't. I'm sorry. Tuskegee experiments. LSD experiments. The list is countless.
It absolutely is. And that's why I would never plan to do that with a government. Now, if you told me there happened to be some strange millionaire who lived in a mountain cabin who had some sort of experiment he wanted to work on, that is the guy. That's my guy. You sign me up with the crazy guy in the mountains who has like the entire glass house. Yeah, that's my dude.
You're killing these rules.
I'm just saying, you're way more apt to get something cool out of that.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I'm not looking forward to the 2020 where I have to get a chip in my brain. I don't want one. I don't want one at all.
You are very alone in that.
I know. Well, when you all turn into Cybermen, and I'm like, you're turning into Cybermen.
I would be the Dr. Cyberman. It would be amazing.
Oh, no. God, it's horrifying. I've seen enough Doctor Who where I don't want this at all. And this is what it's turning into. Ugh. And I've seen The Matrix Resurrections, and I don't want... Ew. No, I'm good. I don't want any of it.
You will take your biological... What is it? Take your biological makeup and join it to us. You will be Cyberman. You will be upgraded.
Or to get deleted. Or you're just screwed.
Delete. Right.
So with 2022 coming, I am looking to, bigger things. This trilogy of craziness that started in 2020. I'm looking forward to 2022 maybe being that Return of the Jedi for us.
Well, we've been strong. Look, okay. If 2020 is straight up going to be your first movie, it definitely introduced a lot of things, and it brought us to the great evil, and we kind of overcame it a little bit. 2021, unfortunately, was the evil got a little bigger. And it got a little louder and said, I'm not going out like that because it's always the death throes. It's the death throes of the evil. So 2022 is the year, man. 2022 is the year where we wrap all that junk up and we go, all right, we're better moving forward. So 2022 is going to be, look, it's not going to start easy. It is not going to start easy. We're going to have to escape from Jabba's palace. Okay? We're going to have to try to not get tossed into a Sarlacc pit. Right? That's a lot. And that's only the opening 30 minutes.
So let's compare. If you had to compare 2020, 2021, and what you hope for 2022, what movies would you compare them to? It doesn't have to be a trilogy. Mine is, but it doesn't have to be. You can just compare them.
I feel like I just said it. Because I feel very confident that COVID was the Death Star, that we knew the plans were being built for in Rogue One, which was 2019. But we didn't actually see that sumbitch wipe out Alderaan until 2020, right? And then it got real. So now we have to go fight it, and we think by the end of 2020, maybe we're getting there. Maybe we've got something. Maybe that vaccine being released in December, right? Maybe we're able to blow up the Death Star and everyone cheers. But unfortunately, they still have giant superstar destroyers, and they're still able to spread faster and, change different types because there's different types and strands. So we learn about different TIE fighters. There's TIE bombers. We learn about all these different sort of vehicles that exist in these worlds that we were unaware of. And that's what 2021 was. Unfortunately, we found out that the most evil person was most closely related to us, and they took our fucking hand. All right, that's what 2021 did. It took my more importantly, it took my lightsaber. The hand I could do without, because you get the sweet implant, but the lightsaber lost was pretty hard.
So. Green was always better.
Valid, yes.
All right, if I have to compare 2020, 2021, and 2022 to movies, 2020 is RoboCop 3.
Wow.
2021 is RoboCop 2. And I'm hoping 2020 will be RoboCop. And if anybody knows me, RoboCop's in my top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah.
So, let's
Yeah,
go.
but here's my question then. Why in the world does Alex have to die at the end?
Listen, I'm comparing the complete horrifying,
Like the quality of the movie?
atrocity of RoboCop 3 to what 2020 was. And in RoboCop 2 is a movie like I can still enjoy, but it's not good.
I don't know. It's pretty good.
I think you need. I don't know when you rewatched it, but I think you need another rewatch.
Yeah, that's valid. It's been too long.
But what I think
Make
I'm
that
going to get is 2020 is RoboCop 3, 2020 is RoboCop 2, 2021 is RoboCop 2, 2022 is going to be RoboCop with a remake. You can stomach it; it'll get you through, but it's not what it was. So I'm hoping by 2023.
Is that you're going that far ahead? See,
Yeah.
I started realizing how much you can get done in 10 minutes. When you realize how much you can do in 10 minutes, and then you go, okay, I have a whole year now, and I'm trying to compare 1 year to anything to illustrate any point, it's a stretch.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if I really wanted to go there, 2020 was Dune, the original. 2021 was Dune, the remake, bro.
Dude, you're insane. You're insane to think it was that good. Nothing.
2022 in 2022 is Starship Troopers.
2021 is what is that Austin Powers where the literal spaceship dick is in the air? That's what happened this year.
Goldmember?
I guess that's the one it is. All right. Before I get any more mad at you for sticking up for 2021, I say we talk about our best list. Let's start with TV shows.
All right.
We'll go from there. And let's just kind of go off because we are running out. It's almost the hour. We got to do our countdown. So let's start at number 10. What's your number 10 for TV shows this year?
Okay, so I didn't actually get that many because only because we kind of swapped it up a little bit. I wanted to really stick with, you brought it up, sticking with new shows, not new seasons, because unfortunately most of mine is like Star Trek, Mandalorian. A lot of second and third seasons and fourth seasons came out that were fantastic. So sticking with new stuff, actually my number one to start with was Shadow and Bone on Netflix.
So wait, that's your number one show?
Well, it's my first one. So whichever direction we're going. I thought
we're going to count down to one.
Yeah.
So my number 10 was Loki. So what? Okay. How many do you have?
Only 5.
Okay, so I'll just count off my first.
Yeah, 5 is straight new. Yep.
All right, I'll count off my first 5 then. So Loki at number 10, WandaVision at number 9, Kevin can F himself at number 8. Number 7 is Falcon and Winter Soldier. Number 6 is Hacks. And you just gave your number 5, so I'll give my number 5, which was Invincible.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yes, good placement.
That was a good one for me. I really enjoyed that. That's great. One of the best animated shows I've ever seen. It was a really good rendition, or not really, adaptation of the comic book.
It's a great play of the story, of the superhero story. And I think Robert Kirkman, he was the author of that as well as Walking Dead. He did a fantastic job. That actually is why I made it to my number 4. So Shadow and Bone number 5, because I love the story. I think it's a great story. The acting was all strong across the board, and it progressively only got better. It was one of those shows that by episode 1, I was like, okay, it's enough to make me watch the second episode. By episode 2, I'm like, I think I like this show. And by episode 3, I'm like, okay, holy shit, if they don't go over there on that ship with this person, I'm like, oh, I'm into the show. So they did a really good job with that. Invincible, I have the exact same thing to say. I think it's one of the best spins on the comic book characters I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Number 4 for me was Hawkeye. It was a good show. It was optimistic. It was plucky. It was fun. Adventurous. We got a lot more Hawkeye, which I like.
Yep, I agree. That's why Hawkeye's number 3 for me. Not only for that, but it's also got Yelena Belova. Florence Pugh smashes every damn scene she's in. So when you have Haley Steinfeld, who's doing a fantastic job, and Florence Pugh comes in, who smashes every scene she's in, the two of them were just glorious. And it brought me some of the most joy I've had over the holiday season. So I enjoyed.
And we also got, like, because I didn't mind the Monica Rambeau, like when she comes back, her from the blip, her shot of her coming back. But I thought Yelena's in the bathroom, like, disappears and comes right back, and like you see the walls changing around her and everything.
Everything's changing around her. The reality is changing around her. Like that's just that mind fuck of what it is. Like they really did a fantastic job of explaining how it felt to go through the blip.
Yeah, such a good one. So that was your number 3, right?
Yes.
My number 3 is Squid Game.
Of course it is.
It's a hard one. It was really hard, but it was a well-told story.
I really enjoyed it. It made top 10. It didn't crack 5 for me though.
All right, I get it. I get that though.
Mm-hmm.
But it just did. I had to, as much as I enjoyed it and I liked it, and how big it was in this world, I was like, yeah, I think this is a top 5. But that was my 3.
So my number 2 is Arcane. It's a League of Legends story. This is an animated show on Netflix that I didn't think I would give 2 scrubs about. I saw that a lot of people were, 100% on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. It was getting mad love everywhere. And I'm like, whatever. Never played the game. Never got into it. Animation, I'm always 50-50 on. You got to really sell me. But this show, in the first 3 episodes, had an origin story that was so incredibly heartfelt. By the time you reach the end of whatever episode 8, I believe, it was punishing. It was beautiful. It was good. Every character was strong. The voice acting was phenomenal. I loved the art style. So it really won me over. Arcane was one more of a surprise, I think, than anything. So it hit my number 2.
Like that. For me, my number 2 was Resident Alien, sci-fi show based on a graphic novel. Of Resident Alien, and it's about an extraterrestrial comes to Earth, crash lands, and his whole the whole thing for him is he has to destroy Earth. That's his plan, is to destroy all humanity on Earth, and the pieces that he needs for the device are lost. So now he can shapeshift. So he shapeshifts into this guy that he kills, this doctor, and he takes over his life. But he's like quirky because he's an alien, and he has to look for those pieces while they're asking him to solve a mystery because he's a doctor. Because it's a small town, so and they don't have a pathologist, so they go to him.
That's amazing. That was one that I'm a little disappointed in myself for not having watched.
And
everyone is
said it's
amazing. Okay.
Watch that.
Well, I'm always leery on sci-fi shows, man. That Sci-Fi Channel bugs me because I don't think they're going to commit. Warehouse 13 got 2 great seasons, and then they kind of disappeared, and then came back later, and it was like, what happened? So I don't trust sci-fi.
But Alan Tudyk is fantastic.
He is.
So, yeah,
easy sell. Sure. All right, number 1. Here we go. Here's the big one. The question is, what one do you think I'm going to come out with? I want you to try to guess it.
WandaVision?
Yep, 100%. I loved that show so much. I appreciated it. I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. I love Paul Bettany as an actor. You know this. I talk about this all the time. He's one of my favorite actors, hands down. Between his romantic comedy work he does, between his serious acting, I think he's one of the best actors. Elizabeth Olsen has vaulted herself into a role well beyond and above where I ever thought she would be placed, much less an Olsen. And yet, I don't know why I ever doubted. The family's got chops, and she absolutely does. This show was fantastic. I love the journey they took me on was one that I truly enjoyed all the way through, and I was excited to find out where the next leg was going to take me, and I was never disappointed. I never got upset. There was not a single part of this show that made me go, dang, I wish they had. No, I loved all of it. The Monica Rambeau stuff, I loved. I know a lot of people had issue with it. I don't care. Jimmy Woo, hilarious. Darcy, phenomenal. Every character was the character I wanted, and it played perfectly. So for me, WandaVision this year was absolutely ideal.
I love it. All right. So my number one was amazing, in my opinion. It was truly fantastic. Cannot wait for season 2, which will be coming. Only Murders in the Building. It's a Hulu show starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. And let me tell you, those three together are perfect. Pitch perfect in every way. The mystery throughout, everything, all the twists and turns, how it was made, how each episode is narrated by whoever the focus of the show is this week. It's done as a podcast. It has been fantastic. So I highly suggest. I think everybody needs to go out and watch Only Murders in the Building.
That sounds great. It's definitely one that is on my radar. I've wanted to. I keep trying to jump to it, and especially with all the things it's a part of. I mean, it's dealing with all the fun Netflix specials we've seen over the last couple of years. It's kind of mocking and making fun of all the positions and things that have happened from 2020 on to 2021. It's enjoyable. It looks good. So I'm excited to jump into that.
For sure. Well, we're about
2022 is promising, man. 2022 is promising.
It's true. We're about 7 or 8 minutes away, people. So we're going to jump right into our movie list, our top 10 movie list of the year.
Let's do it.
So what do you got at number 10?
Okay, number 10 for me was Nobody.
It's mine too.
Yep. Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it's my number 10 too.
Yes.
I
love the job they did in Nobody. I love the work was very John Wick, but from a more average person, and it just works, man. Bob Odenkirk crushed it. He was wonderful.
Yeah, it truly was fantastic. A really good John Wick-esque action movie, and Christopher Lloyd being a badass, I know was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I mean, who expects that? You get Doc Brown with a shotgun. Come on, it's awesome.
So many good things. So, what do you got at number 9?
Green Knight.
Okay, yeah.
So as an Arthurian guy, I love the Arthurian legends. I love those tales, and I think this movie was done very well from that perspective. Not just from a movie making perspective. I enjoyed the fact that they went to the text and they pulled it and they did it. You know, so I really enjoyed it from that perspective, and it helped that it was freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, it was a really beautiful movie. A24 is good for that. And
yeah,
their filmmakers stepping in. So I really liked The Green Knight as well, but it did not make my list. So number 9 for me was Tick, Tick, Boom.
Ooh.
I really like I like the music of it. I like the story. I'm a big fan of Rent. I like Jonathan Larson's work. I like his story because his story, Tick, Tick, Boom, is really good too. And I think everybody should check it out. This was a retelling of that story. So it was semi-autobiographical. But I worked in the theater and, in a professional setting for a while, and it was very similar to a lot of experiences I've had in that instance, like when we're at the party and everybody's singing and having a good time, and then there's the talks they would have that were real. Like it really brought me back and helped me reminisce. But that diner scene, the Moondance diner scene, where everybody, all these Broadway greats are singing Sunday, and the front of the diner goes down into a stage.
Yeah,
it just opens up in New York City. It was that right there had put it on my list.
Totally fair. It was a beautiful movie, and I hate to say it, but it was one of the. I fell asleep too because I turned it down too late, so I didn't actually finish it. But it was beautiful what I saw, and it deserves mad love. Andrew Garfield freaking crushes it. He's amazing.
What's your number 8?
All right, number 8, Red Notice. You know why? Because sometimes you just have the actors that you know can crush it, and you ask them to do exactly that. And in Red Notice, they did. There wasn't anything special. There's nothing fancy. They said they want these actors and actresses. All these actors just do your job, and they all came out and did their job. And it was wonderful. It was fun. It was a good jaunt, and I enjoyed it.
I get it, and you're absolutely right in everything you said. But to me, I call that the algorithm movie. The algorithm
okay
at
with
Netflix.
It. Yeah,
because throw this together.
That's what algorithms do. It's just math, bro. Our brains are only freaking math. So
it's true. My number 8 was 8-Bit Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, it was a beautiful movie. I really had a lot of fun with it. It was just, just be able to laugh and joke and like kind of reminisce, but then have all the heart it did. It's going to be a mainstay for Christmas every year now.
That's fair.
What you got at number 7?
Number 7, I am going with Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Good one. Really good one.
I loved this movie. As an animated movie, it was easily one of my tops. But more importantly, I get to watch this movie with my daughter, and she thoroughly enjoys it. And it's a full-on robot, end-of-the-world Armageddon story. So, crushed it. Big fan.
No, absolutely. My number 7 was Pig, the Nicolas Cage movie.
Ooh, yeah.
Where when you go into it, you think it's going to be a John. Just based off like the trailer, it's like, oh, this is going to be John Wick with a pig, and it is not. It is a beautifully dramatic, heart-wrenching tale that everybody should watch. A great performance.
Nice.
What do you got at number 6?
Okay, so that one actually is where I put in How It Ends. So How It Ends is a fantastic story about a young lady who is dealing with the apocalypse. And literally, an asteroid is coming to Earth, and it's about to hit, and we have a time limit. And someone going out, and the best message in this is the self-love story, is going out on an adventure and not worrying about, you kind of lose the who you're going to see and who do you want to spend the last moments of your life with, and it turns into, I need to love myself. And it was a beautiful story and very well done and very funny and dry and quirky, which I'm always a fan of. So
Nice, I like that. All right, where are we at? Number 6. My number 6 was Val, the Val Kilmer documentary.
Nice.
Good one. All right, let's power through. We're at 57 minutes. We're coming up on time.
We're almost there.
All right, so number 6 was Val for me. What's your number 5?
I actually went with Harder They Fall. Yeah, number 5.
Nice.
I love what they did with that great Western.
Nice. I picked Dune at number 5.
Okay.
Which is a big deal for me.
We're gonna have some numbers coming up close now.
What's your number 4?
Dune.
Nice. I love it. And mine was Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Heck yeah, man.
What's your number 3?
Candyman. This was one of my favorite horror movies that was done this year, and it was one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and they crushed it.
Yeah, I agree. It did not make my list, but I do love it. My number 3 is The Harder They Fall.
Mm-hmm.
What's your number 2?
Shang-Chi.
Nice.
You giving me a Marvel movie with Kung Fu and that much heart, it's just like Hero, and Hero is one of my all-time favorites, so I put it up there.
I like it. That was number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's mine's Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Wow. Okay. All right. All right.
I loved it. And your number 1, sir?
This is going to blow everyone's mind, but for me, for my nostalgia, for my fandom, for what I freaking love, Halloween Kills.
Oh, damn. Oh, you haven't seen my number 1 yet. That's why. All right.
I know.
And my number 1 is Spider-Man No Way Home. Had to be.
Totally
All
fair.
right.
No, and everybody who I've spoken to, I get it. Spider-Man No Way Home is the movie to see. We have almost 30 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, for hanging out with us as we get ready to pound 2022 in the face with a big old celebration and a wham, kapow, kazaa.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited right now. It's so crazy. I'm not going to let you talk anymore. No, we got 14 minutes. Okay, so here we go. We got the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Oh, man, we did it. We made it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. When an old acquaintance be forgot, and of about to mind, may all acquaintance be forgot, for all anxiety. Yeah, there's too many words in that I don't know. Man, that is exciting. We made it to 2022. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this special Scene Snobs countdown.
We love and appreciate you.
Before we go, Case, what's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is to be less comfortable in life. Do the things that make me less comfortable. do the things that push me forward, so that way I can hopefully have some modicum of success and be some kind of good role model to my daughter.
I like it. I like it a lot, and that's a good way to do it. For me, it's always, I'm trying to better myself, and I hopefully can continue to do that. Not just when it comes to health, not just when it comes to my weight, my appearance, or anything like that, but also better myself as a man, an individual, just a member of society. If I can help more, do more. So that's like my goal, is just be better tomorrow than I was yesterday.
That's a very good idea. And you know what? I'm always grateful to have someone like you in my life, Mick. You wonderful human being. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited for what 2022 will bring us.
I am too, my friend. We're going to have a great time. And thank you all so much. Let's just, Case, what are the final words going into 2022 for you?
Man, going into 2022, let's just remember to forget all the trash of 2021. Because all it's going to do is bring you down. The best thing to do with garbage is take it out and forget about it and move on. So welcome to 2022. And may it be for you what you make it.
I love it. I love it. Guys, it's a new year. For us, it's a refresh. It's time to start over and just kind of do things differently. Casey put it perfectly. Just take the garbage out and just do you. And do better and be better in this world. Let's all care more, just a little bit more. Let's just take care of each other just a little bit more. Let's have fun just a little bit more, in a good way, in a positive manner. So thank you all for listening, joining, watching. You can listen to the after credits for all that good stuff. But I do want to say, my friend, thank you. Another year we're doing this. I love you, brother. From all of the people we've lost in 2021. We love you. We know you're in a better place. We can't wait to see you again someday. But for all of you who are out there, we still have each other. So thank you.
And keep being kind to each other. Love you.
Take care, everybody. Bye. That was it. We're out. I didn't end it. I don't have to end it yet. But
No, but that went really well.
I think so. I think
that was great.
Shit.
Dude,
yeah.
This is the perfect time. Mick, hold on. This is what we do. Now we say, if you want to see what the worst of 2021 is, make sure to check in with, become a Patreon member. Or if not, hold on. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and it was a pleasure to have you to ring in 2022. You saw a lot of our best lists, but if you're interested in what we hated, please check us out and join our Patreon. And get one of our bonus videos to find out what was the worst of 2021.
Absolutely. That and more. We have monthly prize giveaways. We do all of our early access to all of our videos that are pre-recorded and more. So we're going to have a fun time with this. So go check that out. It's in our super fan level. We also have a Scene Snobs supporter level. You can check that out as well. It's all on the scenesnobs.com. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, mixed movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.